Hey guys, it's Simi. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 5th of March, 2020 to talk about everything that went down this week on NXT. Now, I thought this week's NXT was an okay show. I didn't think it was great by any means. I thought it was just okay, and I know I'm going to get the questions, so I'm going to say it right now. I think NXT? No, AEW was the better show this week, even though NXT, keep getting them mixed up because we're talking about NXT. I'm looking at an NXT graphic right now. Anyways, I feel that AEW was the better show this week, even though I did feel that AEW could have been a little better and that some of the stuff in the ring in AEW could have been better as well. But nonetheless, I digress. Like I stated, NXT was a good show, not great. Maybe almost at the okay range. If I had to give it a rating, I would probably say like a 6.5, which is not much lower than what I gave AEW. So, hey, let's jump right into it and see who's here with us in the live chat. Not many of you. We've got Henry Cavallo. We've got Glenn Hunt, Sinclair Saturday, Liam Irvine, and many more of you here with us tonight to talk about NXT. The show itself opened with one of the two cage matches, Tegan Knox versus Dakota Kai. So, I didn't like this match for the simple fact that the cage match is supposed to keep the enemy's partners out. You do the cage match based off of the last match having interference. That way, nobody can interfere. Technically, both matches had a lot of interference, but the first match especially. Like, I don't even know what to say, but this should have been a handicap match. 100%. This should have just been a 2-on-1 handicap match inside that goddamn cage. So, early on, Knox ran Kai with a flurry, but Kai cut her off. Knox battled back, but Kai ended the rally before throwing Knox into the cage. The show cut to commercial with a picture-in-picture. Knox countered Kai to send her crashing into the cage. As the show came back from commercial, Knox then threw Kai into the cage a few more times as she fired up. Kai executed a Kai Raptor for a near fall. Knox countered with a small package for a 2. Knox went to climb the cage and Kai followed her. Knox then choke-slammed her off the top rope to the floor below. Well, the mat below. Knox then paused and stood up there for a moment like, crap, what did I just do? And she just stood there and stood there and stood there. And then finally, Dakota Kai goes, well, if you're just going to stand there so much, I might as well get up and kick your ass. Because that's what happened. Dakota Kai got up, pulled Tegan Knox down, and they kept on brawling. They traded strikes before Knox began to climb the cage again. Raquel, I still gotta get used to that one. Raquel Gonzalez shut her down and blocked Knox from exiting the cage. Referee stationed at the door was sandwiched between Gonzalez as he tried to close the door. Kai charged towards Knox. Knox sidestepped her, and Kai kicked the door into Gonzalez's face. Knox then hit the shiniest wizard for a close near fall. Gonzalez then entered through the door and got on the apron. Knox rocked her with a kick and went to climb out. Kai gave chase, only for her to take a Nestia plunge off the cage. Where was I? Sorry, I was reading something in the chat that got my attention. So Knox was trying to climb out near the door, and Gonzalez was dragging Kai out the door by her feet when Knox kicked the door into her, slammed Kai right in the leg, basically right in her injured knee. Gonzalez retaliated by slamming the door on Knox and wedging her between the door and the cage, holding her there. Kai then just climbed out, and there you go. Dakota Kai picks up the victory, only because Tegan Knox got screwed. That's 2 in a row. Where is this leading to? I have no earthly idea. Both women will probably end up in that ladder match at TakeOver, so they'll battle again there. Again, I didn't like this match because it should have just been a handicap match. way, way, way too much Raquel Gonzalez. So Finn Balor did a great vignette, cut a promo on Walter. Balor said that Walter forced his hand, and he's not going to take a Balor's, and if he's not going to like Balor's reaction, then this is just a warning. Balor warned Walter that he would see him soon, because Balor is set for the next set of NXT UK TV tapings. That's like, is it either this week or next? It's coming up really soon. A video then showed NXT champion Rhea Ripley touring Raymond James Stadium ahead of the XFL game this weekend, but more importantly, ahead of her defense in that stadium against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Ripley talked about her journey to NXT, and Ripley said that she was often compared to Charlotte when she first arrived in the company. Ripley then put over Charlotte before saying that to be the best, you have to beat the best, like Charlotte's father always said. So she vowed to beat the best at WrestleMania, hence Charlotte Flair. Next up, we got Chelsea Green versus Shotzi Blackheart. The woman that wins this match qualifies, is the first to qualify for the upcoming ladder match at TakeOver with the number one contendership on the line. The match was fairly competitive until Green hit a missile dropkick off the top rope. She then delivered the I'm prettier, not the unprettier like Christian did, the I'm prettier, pick up the victory. So Chelsea Green is the first of 6 women that will be in that big ladder match at TakeOver. A mysterious and ominous vignette, presumably hyping a new arrival, played. Not sure what that really was. Then we had Keith Lee, the North American champion, come out. Keith Lee came out in street clothes and cut his promo, stating that ever since he became the North American champion, there's been many men that have wanted to come at him for his belt. Lee was talking about challengers and whatnot when he was interrupted by Cameron Grimes. Grimes came down to the ring to confront Lee. Grimes bragged about beating Dijakovic last week. Lee told Grimes he made the gravest mistake of his career. The crowd showered Grimes with boos and "Who are you" chants. Grimes then kind of bragged again, stating that, Keith, it took you 20 minutes to take over to defeat Dijakovic. It didn't take me that long, so maybe I'm better than you. Grimes then said William Regal has granted him a title shot next week. Lee shoved Grimes out of the ring and told Grimes if he wanted an opportunity, then Lee would give him an equal opportunity ass whipping. Their match is set for next week's NXT. And NXT next week, I should just say it right now, NXT next week is going to be a very interesting show because it's not coming to us from Full Sail, no. Coming to us from the WWE Performance Center. So if anybody's unaware, next week at Full Sail University is Hall of Fame week. Basically, they bring in a bunch of either current students or former students that have done great things in the industry that they got their degree from Full Sail in, like in video games and broadcasting and all that kind of stuff. And a number of them get honored by the school. A number of them become Hall of Fame members of Full Sail University. They do like concerts out on the, I've never seen it before. I've just heard about this. They do concerts out on the campus. They do a bunch of community events, and then they do the Hall of Fame ceremony inside Full Sail where NXT tapes. I don't know how many days they need the actual arena for, or the auditorium, whatever you want to call it, but they need it for next Wednesday. And typically when they have Hall of Fame week, WWE just schedules around this. But because they're live every week now, they can't just schedule for the week before or the week after to do their tapings, since they're not taping multiple weeks in a row or at a time. So next week, the NXT will be coming to us from the WWE Performance Center. And if you live in Orlando and you want to go, they're stating that it is a fan appreciation show. So that means show up at the PC, you can get in if there's seating. It is first come, first serve. So it's not like get your tickets in advance and then you've got a seat. No, it's get there early because there's not going to be much seating, I assume. I don't know how much they're setting it up for, how they're actually setting it up, whether they're going to have a bunch of the rings still. Because the Performance Center is interesting. Because if they do it in the normal bay, then there's going to be like 5 rings set up. I don't remember exactly how Halftime Heat was set up, but that wasn't set up for fans to be in there, just NXT members in the crowd. So I don't know if they're going to break down all the rings and use all that surrounding area for seating, or if they're going to keep all the rings up and have limited seating. I don't know. So we'll see how this goes. It should be very, very interesting. They then played a YouTube video where Austin Theory was talking about being the greatest in NXT before Isaiah Swerve Scott got in his face. Scott said that he likes that Theory calls himself the greatest of all time because he likes his confidence. He says he knows something about confidence, and he challenged him to a match. Theory then said, why don't you go ask Regal about that one? Backstage in the dressing room, Undisputed Era were pumping up Roderick Strong ahead of his cage match later on in the night. So then we got Undisputed Era's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly against the Britt Am Bruisers, Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, and this match was fun. Fish and Lorcan started off the match, but it soon broke down into a melee. Lorcan jumped off the apron with a double blockbuster onto the floor as the show cut to commercial. No picture-in-picture this time. Lorcan was hulking up on Fish as the show returned from break. Burch tagged in to run wild. Undisputed Era would use tandem offense to cut him off. They began working over Burch while cutting him off from on their side of the ring. Lorcan then cleaned house after a hot tag, and then he did a flip dive over the top rope. Undisputed Era in a flash caught Lorcan with a high-low combo, and O'Reilly pinned him for the victory. So after the match, the Undisputed Era cut a promo stating, hey, we just picked up a big victory. How about we get a shot at our championships that we should have never lost? They said that they want to take on the loser weights, and out would come the Broserweights, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle said that this is a good idea. He said that himself, the Stallion Riddle, thinks it's a good idea. He thinks the Stallion Dunne thinks it's a good idea. He thinks that the Stallion Regal would make this match, and the Stallions all in the WWE NXT universe would want to see this match. And as he's talking, the champs were then attacked by the Grizzled Young Veterans. Zach Gibson then cut a promo positioning themselves as the next challengers. Basically, it looks like, here's what I think is going to happen. I don't know who's going to win next week because it was announced later that Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne will be defending the NXT Tag Team Championships next week against the Undisputed Era on NXT. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in that match, whether it's the Undisputed Era getting their belts back or if the Broserweights retain, which I assume that's what's going to be. They retain. Maybe, if they retain, then we get the Broserweights versus the Grizzled Young Veterans at TakeOver. Or the Broserweights versus the Grizzled Young Veterans versus the Undisputed Era in a triple threat tag team match. I could see the triple threat one take place at TakeOver. I think that would be a really good match. The Velveteen Dream was taping his fist ahead of his cage match, and then we got Austin Theory against Isaiah Swerve Scott. Swerve got the shine early on as he rocked Theory with some kicks. He looked strong as he delivered a jumping back kick before the show went to commercial. Theory was in control when they came back from break. Swerve fought back with some strikes and more kicks. A flying uppercut by Swerve led into a flurry of kicks and landed a flatliner for a 2. After blocking a Hurricane Rana, Theory sent Swerve into the corner with a buckle bomb and followed this up with the RIP for a near fall. Theory then rolled through for a pop-up move when a Swerve caught him with an armbar. Swerve did a modified version of the arm breaker spot similar to what Pentagon does. Still selling the arm, Theory was able to tip Swerve and execute the ATL, the Austin Theory launch, basically a TKO, to pick up the victory. They really played it up that Austin Theory is so good that even with one arm, he can defeat guys. And I'm surprised Vince hasn't called. I bet you Vince hasn't seen him yet. Because if you just look at Austin Theory, you go, oh yeah, Vince is going to want this guy. Austin Theory could be the next John Cena as far as looks and stuff go. John Cena is 6 foot tall. Austin Theory is 6'1". Austin Theory has a very similar body and build to when John Cena came into the WWE in 2002. Also, Austin Theory is better looking than John Cena, at least in some's opinion. So in complete honesty, I feel like when Vince finally sees this kid, he's only, 22, 23. But once Vince finally sees him, Vince is going to go, "God damn, pal, that's my next John Cena. I need that guy now." So I can see Austin Theory getting a good push, not based off of his in-ring, which is good but can be better because he's still learning, but more based off of his looks. He is what Vince would want as a young guy breaking into this business. So I know Vince doesn't watch much NXT, but like I said, I can really see Vince seeing him and going, "Fuck, I need him now. Give me him now. I'm going to make him my next John Cena. Look at him. He just oozes money." I could see it. But then we got the greatest thing in pro wrestling all week. Johnny Gargano's sit-down interview with Mauro Ranallo at the Performance Center. And this was fan-freaking-tastic. Johnny Gargano basically stated why he's turned heel. So Mauro got right to the point, asking, "Why did you attack Tommaso Ciampa?" Gargano started to answer by mentioning to Mauro that he was the only guy to attend his red carpet premiere for his documentary, The Bipolar Rock and Roller. Mauro said, "Yes, and I appreciate that." Gargano brought that up to say that Mauro was the person telling their stories. Gargano asked Mauro who he was, and he replied with, "Well, you're Johnny Wrestling." Gargano was deflecting from the initial question, though. Mauro pressed him some more about the ambush on Ciampa, and Gargano said that he saw in Ciampa's eyes what he needed to see, and he did what he had to do. He scoffed at the ambush last week being a sneak attack. He said, "I was wearing a powder blue sports coat," insinuating that he stood out and it wasn't really a sneak attack. Gargano grew increasingly more angry with Mauro as he continued to yell, getting in Mauro's face. He almost got out of his chair. Mauro again asked, "Well, why?" And Gargano jumped up, got in Mauro's face, and he screamed at Mauro that he knew why. He said that Mauro called him Johnny Turncoat, and Gargano grew more angry. Mauro stammered in saying he said that in the moment. Gargano continued to say, "You haven't spoken to me since before TakeOver, so you don't know what I was going through or what I was thinking, so you just called me names without even thinking it, without even knowing the context of what happened." And he said, "I demand an apology." Mauro said that, "I feel uncomfortable." He said that the guy out there yelling "Daddy's home" when Ciampa first returned, not knowing who he really is, just thinking that that's what the people want to hear. And Mauro said, I need to leave. I'm very uncomfortable. I can't be here anymore." And he walked off, and Johnny started yelling, "Yeah, just leave. Just walk off. Just leave." And he goes and grabs the camera, and he says, "Next week on NXT in the Performance Center, he's going to do something that no one's expecting. Things are going to be the Johnny Gargano way." I thought this was just fan-freaking-tastic. I loved this. Johnny Gargano, his delivery was perfect. Mauro just sitting there kind of like, "Please just answer my question. I don't want no controversy. Nothing needs to happen. It's all good. It's all good." I thought this was great. Probably the best thing I've seen so far all week, if not in the last couple of weeks in pro wrestling. They then announced officially Keith Lee defending the North American Championship against Cameron Grimes, plus the NXT Tag Team titles on the line next week when the Broserweights defends against the UE. Then we have our main event. Roderick Strong against Velveteen Dream inside of a steel cage. The Dream was wearing gear while Strong came out in street clothes. The announcers sold that this is more than just a street fight, or more of a street fight than a wrestling match. It began with a slugfest and a brawl inside the cage. Strong took control and started to pummel Dream. Strong took a backdrop into the cage as the momentum looked to shift. Marina Shafir, the wife of Roderick Strong, who we have not seen in quite a while, ran down and slid in a kendo stick to her husband. The show went to commercial as Strong looked to use the kendo stick. There was a picture-in-picture during the break, and the viewers saw Dream take the kendo stick away from Strong and use it himself. Moments later, Dream became tied up in a tree of woe. Dream with a low blow blocked Strong from escaping the cage. Dream then applied Strong's hold, the stronghold, basically a Boston Crab, and Strong soon escaped to apply his own stronghold submission. Strong continued to attempt a DVD, but he found himself trapped against the cage as Dream kept hitting him with kicks. Strong broke free and retrieved the kendo stick. They fought over it until Strong used it to help him with a pump handle backbreaker. They did the Ultimate Warrior Rick Rude full moon spot from their cage match at SummerSlam 90. Although Dream has channeled Rude during this program, Strong was in the Rude role here as Dream blocked him from climbing out of the cage by grabbing him by his pants. Strong's pants were pulled down and his butt was exposed for a full moon over Full Sail. Strong with an Olympic slam off the top rope sent Dream crashing to the mat below. That turned into a double down that led to the finish. They were both jumping over each other trying to get to the cage door. Dream executed 2 DVDs and went to climb the cage. He got to the top when Strong's Undisputed Era stablemates rushed ringside. Fish brought with him another kendo stick. The heel faction were trying to climb into the cage, but they were fought off. Adam Cole was able to get inside, and Dream sent him flying with a Ric Flair press off the top. Strong then headed out the door when Dream blocked him. Dream then turned to look back at Cole, and Dream proceeded to just throw Roderick Strong out. He said, "Fuck this! I don't need to win. I want Adam Cole the champion." He fucking sacrificed a victory here for what? I get it. He wants the NXT championship more than revenge on Roderick Strong now. So he throws Roddy out of the cage, slams the door, and presumably locks it. Dream then pummels Cole as Undisputed Era tried to climb in to help their stablemate. Dream swatted them and continued the assault on Cole. Dream used a kendo stick and then gave Cole a DVD on a chair. Strong tried to make the save, but he was crotched and fell into a tree of woe. Dream then picked up the NXT Championship belt and held it high. He hit Cole with a belt shot. Dream climbed up the cage and posed with the title as the show closed. And I didn't like this. Like, if he's going to be the next challenger to the NXT Championship, I get it that he didn't get beat. He threw his opponent out and gave up the victory. But I thought that was so stupid, dumb, idiotic. He should have jumped out of that cage, got the victory, and then fought with Adam Cole or something. But from what the show ended with, it does lead me to believe that maybe Velveteen Dream could be the challenger to Adam Cole at NXT TakeOver Tampa. We've only got, 3 more episodes of NXT? 4 more episodes of NXT? 1, 2, 3, 4 more NXTs until TakeOver. And then we go from there. So we'll see how it goes, but that was NXT. I thought the show was okay. Kind of good. Maybe good. But it could have been better. Like I said, if I were to rank this show, I would have given it a 6.5. But with that, I do have one text message here. Maybe? Nope. Never mind. I read this one last night for the AEW review. So with that, I want to say thank you guys for joining me here tonight. And we got another live stream coming tonight. I'm going to simulcast this one both here on the PW Unlimited YouTube channel and on my Twitch, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. What we haven't done yet on this channel is play WWE 2K20. Well, I took my kids to the library today, and at our local library, you can check out video games, and well, by happenstance, they had WWE 2K20. So I checked it out, and I've got the game now, so I'm going to play it right here on the PW Unlimited YouTube channel and on my Twitch, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. Not sure exactly when I'm going to go live. Got to make dinner for everybody and whatnot. So once I'm done with that, once the kids are in bed and all that, then I will go live playing some WWE 2K20. Again, we'll be live here on both YouTube, PW Unlimited YouTube, and on my Twitch at the same time. So you can go either way and we'll play some 2K20. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, whether I'm going to go through the story mode, whether I'm just going to play a bunch to unlock everything or what. We'll see. But yeah, join me here in maybe an hour or so. It'll be before 9 o'clock. I can guarantee that. 9 o'clock Pacific time. Probably more close to like 8:30. Antonio Banks in the chat says, don't play the game. It's horrible. I've heard it's gotten better. And we're going to experience that together to see if it has gotten better. So with that, I will see you guys back live here in just a little while to play some WWE 2K20. And hey, I don't know. We'll play for quite a few hours, I think. I got no other plans for tonight other than to play that game. So let's go. Have a good night, guys. And for some of you, I'll see you in a little bit.